Hello everybody, Weather Insider here for today's weather outlook. So today there is an enhanced risk and it's a pretty big day for severe weather, much bigger than yesterday. So first off, it's actually a pretty small area relatively compared to yesterday. First off, the general thunderstorm area, it's looking like from South Dakota all the way down into Texas through Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma for the eastern part of Texas, to Arkansas, Louisiana, and up into the southern and eastern parts of Illinois, all the way up to Michigan, and probably through a bit of Canada, down into New York, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, the west parts of Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and parts of Georgia into Florida. That's the areas where you should be expecting some scattered thunderstorms. Nothing super strong, but maybe an isolated case of something severe being reported, but most likely not. Now for the marginal risk. For the marginal risk, pretty small area. Parts of Louisiana into Alabama, or Mississippi, into Tennessee, parts of Kentucky, and parts of Georgia. And these areas will be expecting some relatively strong thunderstorms and maybe some isolated severe cases, but it's definitely possible for severe weather to be reported in this area. But probably pretty scattered, not very significant. A pretty small area once again. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Just a very small part of western Georgia, very small part of southern Tennessee, and a very small part of western Florida. These areas will be seeing a slight risk for some severe thunderstorms, so there's a pretty big chance that wherever you are, you'll be seeing some sort of severe thunderstorm, but there's a chance that it will miss you, so relatively relatively scattered, but there will be severe thunderstorms if you live in that area, in your area. Now for the enhanced risk, and this is a pretty big risk area for today. This is probably getting pretty close to being up to a moderate, but it won't be up to a moderate. But this is for Louisiana, the eastern parts of Louisiana, southern and central Mississippi, central and southern Alabama, and western Florida. And all of these areas definitely be expecting severe weather. If you're in that area, you're most likely going to encounter it. The severe weather threat has already started for today. I'm a little bit late, but that's okay. But this is just the beginning. We'll be moving into the tornado threat, and that is the main threat for today. Unlike yesterday, which was hail, the main threat for today is tornadoes. There are already tornado watches issued for Alabama and Louisiana and I think Mississippi. I know Mississippi and Louisiana, but Alabama as well, and it will probably move into Florida on the overnight hours or later today. So for the 2% risk area, it is Louisiana, Mississippi, small parts of Tennessee, Alabama, the western parts of Georgia, and a bit of Florida. And in these areas, there's a small chance, a 2% chance of a tornado happening 25 miles from a point in that area. So pick a point in there, and there's a 2% chance that somewhere within 25 miles there will be a tornado. And moving into the 5% chance, this including New Orleans, is Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida. And in these areas, we can expect a 5% chance for a tornado to be reported in within 25 miles of a point. And then we have our 10% risk area and our first hatched area that I've reported, but a 10% area for small parts of Louisiana, basically southern and central Mississippi, and southern and central Alabama is what it's looking like, and a small western part of Florida. So, in these areas, we can be expecting a 10% chance for a tornado within 25 miles of anywhere within that yellow zone. But then we also have the hatched area, and that's why this today is a pretty big day for tornadoes. It is that hatched area is a 10% chance for EF2 to EF5 tornadoes within 25 miles of a point. And EF2 to EF5 tornadoes, these are your strong tornadoes. These will do pretty big damage to your house, and if you're living in like a trailer home, these will do probably destroy the trailer homes or throw them very far, depending on what type. So this is a pretty big tornado day. For the wind, there is a 5% chance for basically the entire marginal area of the storm that we saw. So, 5% chance that some wind damage will be reported in your area. This basically stretches from Indiana through Kentucky, all of Tennessee, besides a few the corners of the state. Western Georgia, western Florida, Louisiana, parts of Mississippi, and so forth. Those areas will be seeing a 5% chance of damaging thunderstorm winds, which are, I think it was 60 miles an hour or higher, or like 57 miles per hour. Then we have our 15% chance, and that is Tennessee, the small southern part of Tennessee, basically all of Mississippi, all of Alabama, the western parts of Georgia, western parts of Florida, and a small part of Louisiana. These areas, 15% chance for those damaging thunderstorm winds. Now we're moving into the pretty likely chance of seeing some. 30% chance that eastern part of Louisiana, the southern and central parts of Mississippi, southern and central parts of Alabama, and that extreme western parts of Florida. These areas, 30% chance for those damaging winds, so most likely you'll probably be experiencing damaging winds. But we're getting up to the 45% range for central and southern Mississippi and that western southern area of Alabama in that purple zone. That is where we could be seeing a 45% chance for those 60-mile-an-hour winds, which that's basically almost, it's not guaranteed. There's still a 45% chance, but if you're living in that area, you're probably going to be seeing some severe thunderstorm activity for winds, at least 60 mile an hour winds or wind gusts. You'll probably end up seeing those. And finally, for hail chance, not a very big hail chance for today, just a 5% chance for some hail within 25 miles of a point in eastern Louisiana, southern and central Mississippi, southern and central Alabama, and the western part of Florida. Already today, there are tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, a tornado watch issued. So I'm a little bit late to the warning, but for those of you who are still in the path of this, who aren't sure, aren't aware yet, here you go. There are severe thunderstorms, tornadoes heading your way. So be on the lookout. Damaging tornadoes today. And that ends today's severe weather lookout. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another one.